What is going on, my guys? Just taking a little time lapse out the window here. Welcome to Ghetto Lighting Setups with Josh 101. All right, so I get this question all the time in the live streams, and I'm like, hey Josh, do you have any tips for applying to internship positions or entry-level positions? How can I land that job right out of college? And I think this is kind of like a common misconception. Most of us have been just told this is how you're supposed to do it. You look for an internship while you're in college, and then hopefully they convert you, or you look for an internship right after college, or you look for an entry-level job right after college. And I'm guilty because I did that. When I got my mechanical engineering, I looked for all entry-level stuff because I figured, oh, obviously I can't be an engineer day one. I don't know what I'm doing. It's a little bit different in software. And so what I recommend, if you guys know me, is that apply for everything, disregard titles. Titles don't mean that much. I have a little list of notes that I'm glancing at for reference here, but titles don't mean that much, and don't let that stop you. A lot of people think that there's this huge skill gap between, let me illustrate it for you. So this right here is the actual breakdown of what it looks like between a junior dev and an intern. It's actually about the pay, because they can title you an intern, they can pay you less, and you get to go get the CTO coffee. There's no real skill gap there. Your skills are just as valuable as a junior developer's in almost every scenario. A person right out of college can get a junior developer job. A person right out of a code bootcamp can get a junior developer job. The thing is that we all just look for entry-level and internship positions because that's kind of like what we're expected to do. I can give you an anecdote of what I did when I started looking for jobs. As I said, I did it with my mechanical engineering job. I looked for entry-level jobs because I was like, oh, there's no way. But for software, it's a little bit different. I started applying to software jobs, and I started applying to junior specific, entry-level specific, internship specific, you know, kind of like the bottom tier, I guess, is what we all kind of think we have to start at. But what I noticed is that when I applied to those jobs, I'd always get these HR messages back that said, we currently have a high volume of applications and we've actually closed hiring. We're not even looking. We didn't even look at your resume. Basically, no. And so I was like, okay, well, every single entry position is going to have a high volume because I'm literally competing with everybody else that's applying to these entry-level positions. Everyone in college that doesn't know any better is going to apply to internships and entry-level positions, and everyone out of boot camps is going to apply to the same thing. And by skipping that process and applying to regular jobs, software developer jobs, software engineer jobs, front end, whatever, without the junior, without the specific starting place title, those are always going to be the most crowded. And so by skipping it and applying to the ones that don't have that in the title, that people don't feel like they're qualified for, you have a higher chance of getting looked at. Regardless of that, you can apply to a job that's like 5 years experience required, 3 years experience required, and you can have like 0 experience, right? 3 months experience, whatever. You can apply to those, and in your cover letter, you can state, if this job is not the perfect fit for me, I'm open and flexible to any other positions you may think better fits my skill set. Can you tell that I was recalling that from memory? And that's actually what got me my first mechanical engineering job. I applied to a bunch of jobs, and I put that in basically every single cover letter, and they're like, oh, well, you don't really match this one, but we do have one that we're about to start hiring for that's not actually posted yet. But since you've already, came in and applied and said that, I think I'm going to transfer your resume over to those people. You are missing out on all of these opportunities by limiting yourself to a job with a title in it, which is it's just silly. So at the end of the day here, title has nothing to do with skill level and everything to do with how much that company is going to pay you, who gets the CTO a cup of coffee in the morning, and all of that. And they're gonna find out what you can do in the code test anyways, so if you try to bluff your way into these ridiculous positions that you're actually not qualified for, but you apply to anyways, you're gonna get hit with a code test, and you're gonna be brought back down to earth fairly quickly, and they're gonna be like, yeah, you're not qualified. But a lot of people you have no idea what you're applying into. Maybe the HR lady wrote this post, and her requirements are a little bit more strict than what the CTO actually meant. Don't limit yourself to a title. Absolutely, you can apply to internships. Absolutely, you can apply to junior developers. Absolutely, you can apply to all those things, but just don't think that there's a skill gap there and that's limiting. I would skip that because you're gonna get paid less. This is a perfect scenario that can happen. You and your friend both graduate college, both graduate a code boot camp. You both apply to the same company, except one of you applies to an internship and one of you applies to a junior developer job. Both of you are equally qualified. The only thing that's gonna happen is that your friend's gonna get paid $15 an hour and only have 20 hours a week, and you're gonna get paid $50,000 a year and have benefits and salary. That's it. I also get a lot of questions about unpaid internships, and what I have to say on unpaid internships, if you're gonna do a job that's unpaid, and you have to like qualify for it and you have to come in and interview, it just seems a little bit silly because you're almost a volunteer at that point. They've baited you into thinking that you have to qualify yourself to work for free. I mean, I get in some scenarios you might need like some security clearance, make sure you don't like mess something up or hurt something, but you're a volunteer. When you're doing unpaid work, you are a volunteer. Unpaid internship is like, whoever made that up is the real winner, I guess, because he convinced people, oh yeah. Dude's just getting free work. He gets to pocket more money. I would say, unless you're a freelancer, try to avoid unpaid work. If you're a freelancer and you're trying to build your brand, you have to do things for free just to show people what you can do, just so that you can convince people to take a chance on you. Most of the time, if just regular software jobs, you don't have to do that. You can just apply straight to the job and just go for the job. Let me show you another illustration of what I would do in order of how I would apply to software jobs. We have unpaid internship, lowest of the low. Internship, entry level, about equal. Junior developer, yeah, okay, I'll go ahead and apply to that. And then anything with the word software developer in it. This is my priority. If it has the word software in it, then hey, what up? You're gonna get my resume. Am I not qualified, but you got other positions? Hey, just let me know. Don't limit yourself. The majority of jobs posted online are over here anyways, not even over here. So imagine a bunch of, college code bootcamp graduates all applying to these and not applying to these. By default, you have an advantage if you apply to anything with the word software in it. Apply to everything, disregard what the requirements are. Anything with the word software in it, I'm your man. It should be the same for you guys. If you get disqualified, guess what? You didn't lose anything you didn't already have. You lost a few minutes of your time, but you learned a whole lot. Maybe you can ask for feedback. So if they reject you, just be like, why did you tell me no? Hey, we didn't think that your experience was strong enough. We didn't, obviously looking at your resume, you're not qualified. Or maybe they do take a chance, but you wouldn't know and you're just missing out. You're not gonna get blackmailed unless you apply to like every single position at every single job, like 10 times a day. So it's kind of a numbers game. Obviously you need to be able to code still, you need to be able to be qualified, but you guys get the point. Anyways, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. Check out the Discord link for that is down below. Shoot me an email if you want, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, so I actually have one more request before this video is over. I've had this idea for a while now. If you're out there and you're working at a company and your company is hiring, or you have a good relationship with your hiring manager, let them know. I'd like to make a video with them. I have this plan to make a post on LinkedIn to ask if there's any recruiters or companies out there hiring that are willing to do an interview with me so I can correctly show the interview process, and that's what all you guys like to see, and I want to showcase that so people don't feel as intimidated as going in. We could talk about the interview process. I'm willing to do like a fake interview if they're willing to give me one, but in order to do that, I need people willing to reach out. Obviously, if I keep applying to jobs that I don't want, I'm just going to keep getting blacklisted and I'll keep having to use aliases, and I'm like every company's worst nightmare because I'm just like wasting their time. And that's not what I want to do. So if you're out there and you know your company's hiring or you're hiring, emails down there in the description. I would really like to make this happen. I think this could be a great series and I could travel to all these companies if they're local, and I'm willing to do all of that. I would greatly appreciate it, and I can drive you some potentially really motivated developers. I know the people that don't have jobs that watch this channel are very motivated, and I guess that's why they watch it. But anyways, thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next one.